Good evening. It's card class day. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite days of the month. I of course, since COVID, I've had my card class online. Hey, Carol. I'm so happy to see you. Not see you, but see you on Facebook. Since COVID, I've been having my card classes online, and it's so fun because I get to meet all new people each time I have a card class. And so I may have some people on here that are people that I know, and there's people that I just met. So I'm happy. Hey, Ashley Cranford, good to see you. We have a lot to see tonight, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to make 3 cards using the Life is Beautiful stamp set. So this is my favorite. It's not a new card. We've had these types of cards all along. They're called Slimline cards. But I'm going to show you how to make that. We're going to make this cute little card, just a great hello card. And then this is also a cool card. So we're going to make that, and I'm going to teach you how to do masking with your sentiments. So that's something that I just sort of, I wouldn't say I invented. I just was like, I wonder if this would work, and it works. So I'm going to show you how to do those 3 things. Thank you, Carol. I did case this card from Pinterest, and full disclosure, but I did tweak it a little bit. Hey, Debbie Allen. So welcome to the card class. If you haven't ever been to my online card class, it's fantastic. I'm going to show you how to make 1 each of 3 cards, okay? The way you get to participate, hey Teresa, is you watch tonight, and then if you see something that you like, which you will, then you place an order. And once you place an order, if it's $35 or more, then you receive the card class in the mail. So I will ship it to you, free shipping. Okay, so you'll have enough supplies to make 6 cards. So you're going to make 2, 2, and 2. Okay, so you'll have enough to make 6 cards. I'm just going to show you how to do 1 of each. But the awesome news is if you have orders of $50 or more, which is easy to do once you've seen everything and your wish list grows, then you get some free Artistry Blooms Sequins, and you're going to want those, and you'll see why. So that's how the card class works. So after the class, you can text me, you can message me, you can send me an email, you can click a link to order, which I will put in this Facebook post as soon as we're done to order, and it will tell you, you can click right to the ordering system. But I'm happy to put that order in for you also. Everything will ship directly to you. So if you have any questions, just pop in. I'm going to be able to see the screen the whole time, hopefully. And hopefully we won't go radio silence. My husband's on Zoom and my son is at a class. So I'm just hoping that the Wi-Fi is good to me tonight. If not, just hang tight. It usually pops back up. Or I will certainly send you... you can watch it on replay. Also, if you registered for this class, you will automatically get... Hey, Chantel. You will automatically get the PDF instructions, and you will receive an email with the video upload after it uploads tonight. Usually that comes out tomorrow early. So if you haven't registered for the class, that's fine. Just message me your email so I can make sure that you get the PDF instructions and the replay of the video. Okay, so I definitely don't want you to miss that. Let me turn the camera around, and we're going to start our class. You're not at all late, Chantel. You're perfectly fine. We are just getting started. Okay, so I'm going to get my paper in view here. Everything's situated. Make sure you can see the whole thing. Move this down a tad. So you're in the right place if you're here. There's my mama. Hi, Mom. Beverly Kinnaman. All right, so this is the Life is Beautiful card class, and you're in the right place. And I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to show you beautiful things. All right, so if those of you that don't know, my mom lives here in town, and before COVID, we had card class at her house. So now we have it on Facebook, and we do it at home on our own. Okay, so let's get started. I want to show you two things that I'm very excited about. My first thing I want to show you is a class that I have coming up in November. I have to get my schedule out here. It's November the 22nd from 3 to 6 on Zoom. Or, hey Chris, or you can get it to go, and you'll have the make and takes and the videos to do it at home. And all the PDF instructions. This is the Freezin Fun Stamp Stack, okay? And it's so cute. We're using the Freezin Fun Stamp set, and we're going to make one each of each one of these adorable Freezin Fun cards, okay? I'm sorry, 2 each. So you're going to get 10 total cards, and everything will be cut and ready for you to go, all right? So that's the Freezin Fun Stamp Stack, and I will put a link to register for that class when I send the email with the PDF instructions for this class, and you can register for that. It's $30 for the Stamp Stack, and then there's also an option to add on the bundle if you don't already have that. So the other thing I'm offering at that date is the Joy of Sharing card kit. So I just got this out and played with it today, and I love it. So I don't know if you send Christmas cards. If you do, awesome. If you don't, then this is your year, okay? It's COVID. So everyone, Christmas is going to look different for everyone. And either if your Christmas doesn't look different, it's going to look different for someone that you love. So this is the time to reach out with handmade things at Christmas. And this is pushing the easy button, okay? So this is called our Joy of Sharing card kit. And it looks fancy, but it's not. It is a $35 kit, okay? And it's got everything that you need in it to make the 15 cards, okay? So if you need more than 15 cards, then you just get 2 kits, all right? So I'll show you what these look like. So you've got an option, and I love this because every year people are like, oh, I just do photo cards. I don't do regular cards. Well, guess what? This is your year to take a photo card to the next level. Hey, Don Hutchins. So this is your year to take your photo card to the next level. This is one option that you can do with your card kit, or you can make a card. So you actually have a choice of either photo cards or regular cards, all right? And you choose how you want to do that. You can make 15 photo cards, you can make 15 regular cards, or you can mix it up, okay? Sherry, you are here. That's exciting. You're here. You're in the right place. All right, so let me show you how to make one of these cards, and then I'll show you all 4 cards at the end. So very simple card to put together. It just looks fancy because Stampin' Up! Has already done all the hard work. Okay, so I grabbed a card from Christmas Gone By. Mom will love this. This is actually a Christmas card from 2 years ago, which is still on our refrigerator. Hi, Dana Javi. I just can't quite take the Christmas photos down. So the first thing you're going to do is just use some glue dots, and you're going to stick this Christmas photo just smack in the middle of your card front, okay? This is great because it's dark on the outside and white on the inside, so you can write on it. And then you're going to use this gold overlay. This all comes in the kit. I'll show you in a second what the kit looks like inside. I could have shown you that first. You're going to put this gold overlay on with glue dots. Okay. And then I just kind of go, which way? Okay, I'm going to go this way because there's more space at the upper. And I can see I did not center that photo very well. Ew, and I remember I cut these photos down to fit in an envelope. So I'll show you. This is a card made with a 4x6 photo. So if you get a standard sized photo, it's going to fit great. I remember now this year I cut that down. No worries. So then you're going to just use these little elements to spice it up a little bit. So in your kit, you're going to have ink, little adhesive dots, a cool stamp set, Season's Greeting, Merry Christmas, and then you've got a nice long sentiment that we'll look at. You're going to have dimensionals, a block, if you don't have one of those, all the elements you need to make all of the 15 cards. And they all just punch right out of paper, okay? And then, of course, you're going to have all your envelopes. So those are all at the bottom. So I've already punched everything out that I need, just so you won't have to watch me do that. And remember, your standard picture is going to fit in here perfectly. I just cut that photo down. Now you have an option of Season's Greetings or Merry Christmas. I did this one Merry Christmas, so I'm going to do this one Season's Greetings. And you've got your little ink spot here. It's Mossy Meadow, which is a real deep green, gorgeous green. So you're just going to stamp that. And then all you're going to do is build your card. So I think I've tossed it back in here. You're going to... Well, no, did I cut? Oh, here it is. I've got all my pieces and parts strewn across the table. Okay, so now I'm going to take this red strip and I'm going to tuck it in under here. Now you can decide where you want it, how high up you want it to go. Okay, like if you want it to cover up people or not cover up people, up to you. So I'm going to stick mine right there. And then I'm going to pop up my sentiment with my dimensionals, like so. And then I'm going to use these little elements that are in the kit just to put a little fun there. And the last thing I need is a bigger, let's see, probably, I'll show you where it comes from. We have tons and tons of these punch outs in this kit. So this is a pretty scenery with some, what do you call them? Pine cones. So we're going to put that there. Okay, so you've got your photo card or you've got your standard card. Okay. And you can have them, they can go tall or they can go long. And you've got one more here. So you've got some options. You've got the poinsettias as an option. And then you've got the pine cone bush things as an option. Oh, and I forgot the gold sparkles. So these things literally go right on your photos. So you just go 1, 2. So we're going to put 5 sparkles on because 5, we're going to put 5 or 3. So we like to function in prime numbers when we're putting on embellishments because that lets our mind stop at a prime number. I know, Dawn, isn't that great? I love options. So you can make all regular cards or you can put a photo in. The other thing you can do is you can make the regular card and tuck a photo inside. It's big enough to do that too. So you've got so many options there. But this Joy of Sharing card kit, of course, we're going to make that same day with our, I call it the Holiday Extravaganza, but that's the class that we're going to have. So those are your options. You can take one class or both classes, and I would love to have you on November 11th. All right, now, I always, when I have a class at my home, I like to, I'm going to see if I can brighten this up a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. when I have a class at my home, I like to show you guys some samples. So let me see. Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to show y'all. Kind of move some stuff around here, but this is something I'm super excited about, and it's coming in November. Okay, it's called the Curvy Collections, and it has Christmas and not Christmas sets. And so I'm just showing you this. This is just merely a swap show. This is just like a feast for the eyes. You can make really cute stuff with this cool curvy die. You can make Christmas things. You can make spring things. This is a really gorgeous card I copied right off of Stampin' Up. And then we've got some new Christmas paper that's Cobbler, Spruce, and Sahara Sand. So that's your little show. And you're going to want to stay tuned on November 1st because that is going to be, those are things that you can order starting November 1st, unless you're a happy shopper. If you're a happy shopper, you can order that now. So if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, also called Happy Shopper, you can order that now. My camera arm is acting like a poo. Okay, let me adjust here. Okay, thank you for your patience. All right. So let's get started on our class. So we are using what's called the Life is Beautiful stamp set. And what I love about this set is it is created by one of our $1 million sellers. So this seller is named Leanne Greft, and she got to design this stamp set. So she did this out of her own head. She worked with Stampin' Up, and they made it into this gorgeous stamp set. What I love about it is it's good for literally all seasons. So you can go from fall to summer to spring to winter all with one set. You can have just hello cards, thinking of you cards, and just plain Life is Beautiful. So I don't know about you, but I think everyone can use a little positivity right now. And Life is Beautiful is just a great thing to say and to mean to people right now. So this is a very timely stamp set. But the other thing I love, and so because it spans 4 seasons, you're going to get more for your money, which is a good thing. We also love the fact that it has mixed fonts. So we have the cursive and the bold, and I just think that is really great. You could even put Hello Thinking of You together, like you could put those together on the same card. So let's get started on our card class. All right, the inks you're going to need. Now, you're going to watch me tonight, and then you can use your own inks when you put your card class together. So if you don't have inks, holler and we can get them for you. They're only $7.50 each, so don't freak out that you need inks because we can get you what you need. But these are the inks we're using: Early Espresso, Seaside Spray, Granny Apple Green, Flirty Flamingo, and Cajun Craze. Okay? And let's go ahead and do this card first. Now, this card I designed out of my own brain. So sometimes, and I kind of, whenever I design something out of my own brain, I can kind of fuss with it. I don't know if you know what I mean, but you can do it. I wish I had all the iterations of it that I made, but I made this card like 5 times before I loved it, and then I loved it. So, oh yes, versatility is key. All right. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I would love it if you would share this card class on your Facebooks, because we want more people to join us for the fun. This is super fun, and we want everyone to join. All right, so we're just going to make a very pretty card using this stamp set that is good for all seasons, okay? You're going to start with a card base that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, fold in half. You don't have to do any of that. I'll do all that for you. And then you're going to have your card base that your card front that you're going to work on, okay? And for this set, all we need is the polka dot. For the first part, we need the polka dots, okay? And you'll see I cut my stamp apart. So don't have a heart attack. These are tools, not jewels, okay? If you need to be convinced, you can stick that right back into its place and it will function quite properly. But I don't even need it. It's not vital to what I'm doing yet. You'll see why it's vital in a second. Okay, so we're going to, this is a photopolymer set which you can see through. And anytime I use a photopolymer set, I'm going to use a Stampin' Pierce mat underneath to get the best contact with my paper. Now, I'm glad I didn't jump too far ahead because I actually have to do something else before we do our dots. I just love dots, so I kind of skipped to that part. We're going to grab the Life is Beautiful sentiment, and we're actually going to stamp that on a Post-it note, okay? So I'm sure you have a Post-it note or something kind of sticky. It doesn't even have to be a Post-it note. You can use regular paper, but Post-it note works perfectly, and you'll see why. So you're going to stamp this Life is Beautiful at the top edge of the Post-it note where the sticky is, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to fussy cut that out. And actually, let's see if I have that already cut. By the time I found it, I could just show you. So you're just going to cut around it. You don't have to get in real tight. You're just getting around it, okay? So don't worry about getting in every nook and cranny. We're not as much fussy cutting as masking, and you'll see why you don't have to get so tight. So we're just going to get in here, get a little bit in here, and done. So now we have a little sticker that is going to fit right where it needs to, okay? So at this point now, we're going to open our Early Espresso ink pad. I love Early Espresso. It's like a black brown, so I use it a lot for sentiments. So I hope you have. Hey, Miss Susie, how are you? So we're going to stamp this in the bottom right corner of our card. See, doesn't it look black? It's not. It's espresso. So I love that because it's just something different. Now, what we're going to do is use our mask, our sentiment mask, to cover that up. Okay, so you're going to stick that right over your card, and then we're going to start with our Flirty Flamingo. Now obviously you can use, the cool thing about this card class is almost all the cards, really all the cards, you can use whatever colors you have. So whatever floats your boat. I wanted to use the same ink pads in all of the cards so that if you were going to need to buy inks, then you could buy what I'm using, okay? So I'm using Flirty Flamingo here. So I'm just going to come in here and just get a bunch of Flirty Flamingo dots. And I think of them as sort of cascading across the paper from upper left to lower right, okay? It's like a shower of dots. Isn't it fabulous? Okay, so it's beautiful. Now, and this is what I did first, if I ink this up with green and I inked it up with blue, it just becomes a big muddled mess. It's too many dots. So what I did is I went in and cut off one of the dots. And I actually got this idea from Leanne, who designed this stamp set herself. So that's one great thing about people that design stamp sets is they already have great ideas for you. She said, just cut off one little dot. So that's what I did. And then I'm just going to go in and add some dots. Now, I remember now that I did stamp that off to make that a little bit lighter. And make sure a few of your dots come up to your mask, just so that makes it more interesting. So stamping off is just something that you can do. If you see the color that you're using and you're like, that's a little too dark, then just stamp it on your paper first and then stamp it on your project and it'll be perfect, okay? So that's what I'm doing here. I love it. I'm gonna do one more in this area for good measure. And see, if I go and make a boo-boo, then guess what? I can just cover it up with another dot. Okay, so that is your greeny apple layer. And then I'm simply going to clean that off, which I don't have my super duper stamp cleaner in here. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna get my Seaside spray. So, okay, let's see. Using the Flirty Orange with the Seaside Blue works great because they're complementary colors. Yes, Sherry's an artist, and so she knows. I just thought it was pretty, but I guess I got lucky because I got some complementary colors. So yay! We are just going to put in some Seaside spray here, some dots, and that card, the stamping on this card is done. Now look, your sentiment has like a halo around it, and you don't get any of the dots on your sentiment. So voila, isn't that cool? It's like the sentiment is glowing. Now, to finish off this project, we're going to use some, they're called Holiday Rhinestone Jewels. I've already used the red and the yellow. Okay, so there's red, yellow. Then we have green, blue, and blue. Pool Party and probably navy. So I, of course, chose the Pool Party bling because is the card really finished if it doesn't sparkle? I don't think so. So we're going to put some of these holiday rhinestones. And by the time Christmas comes, I will have used all of these colors. I'm just telling you. So I was thrilled to be able to use the light blue ones. Okay, and then all you're going to do at this point, we're going to put our little dot back in our spot so we don't lose it. And then we're going to pop this sucker up to the base with a Stampin' Dimensional, okay? So I love it if I have what I would call a more simple card. I love to pop up the base, pop it up from the base with dimensionals because you're really just showing like, look at my work of art here. You're popping it up. If it's this big, I'm going to slap one in the middle there. And we're going to stick that down. Voila. Gorgeous card. Simple, simple. You could do that with any sentiment. Now, what you could also do is stamp it and then cut out your sentiment. But I just don't like the way that looks, to be honest. I don't like it when people cut sentiments out. I just think it looks weird. To me, it looks like a kindergartner did it. So that was my solution to having a sentiment in a busy part of your card, is just mask it off. So remember, your card kit will come with enough paper to make 2 of these cards, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, our next card we're going to make is our little Hello Birdhouse card. So I love it. It just reminds me of like the 80s. I love this color, fresh color combination. I will tell you, I initially used Magenta Madness, but it's a little too stark for me, like the contrast. But if you like that, let me know. I'll send you the magenta strip instead. But I like this one better. And plus, I used Flirty Flamingo on the other projects, so that minimizes your ink pads. Okay, now I'm going to grab some paper here. Your kit will come with the card base, of course, and you're going to have this little piece that goes on the inside, just because you can't really write very easily on grainy apple green. I mean, you could, but I'll go ahead and stick that in there. Thank you, Dana. I do think it's pretty and soft. All right. Now, to accent this card, we're going to use a little strip of this paper called In Good Taste. Now, I have got a big pile of it right here, and I'm just going to pull it out and show you a little bit of it. It is gorgeous. It has so many versatile, neutral pieces. It goes on for days, okay? It's like backgrounds. You can actually use it to take backgrounds for photos of your cards. It's great for fall with all these wood textures, but it also has these tile textures. So it's the first paper I've bought, and I'm now on my 3rd pack. And it has 24 sheets of designer paper in it for $21, okay? So it's a great thing to add to your stamp collection. So we're going to use that on the next card too. So at this point, we're going to make this cutie card, and we're going to get out our tree. Ooh, I hope I have the right size block. We have to go fishing for the major block. Hold on, friends. Let's see, let's see. Got to find my big block. The good news is I don't have to run upstairs and get it. Murphy's Law, if I'm doing a Facebook Live, I'm going to need, oh, I stuck it in this box. New. Well, let me just see. I remember coming across it last night, and I was like, I'm going to need that tomorrow. I have so many of them. Let's just try this and see what happens. All right. Ideally, you're going to use a big block. All right, let's get our early espresso out. Let's try this, actually. You can get most of it this way. Okay, let's just see what happens. I'm going to hope for the best here. All right, we're going to ink up our tree and press it here. I'm going to go with my little finger there. I have a great block for this size, but I'm just not seeing it. It's probably right in front of my face. Perfect. It's such a great stamp set that it cooperated. Now, it is, I believe it's a distinctive stamp set, which when you stamp with it, it's got all these little details that almost make it look, hey, Valerie, how are you? So it's got some detail in it that I'm not sure you can appreciate on the screen, but it's really pretty, really pretty. All right, now I chose, oh goodness, sorry. I chose to use the polka dot stamp set again. I just love it. I love the polka dot set, but you could also use leaves, okay? You could use the leaves, but I just love the polka dots. I'm just more of a polka dot girl. So we're actually going in with our Granny Apple Green this time. And we're going to just, and don't try to get in your head about lining this up. You don't. You just stamp it, okay? Like, just stamp it and don't freak out. Now, you can also stamp it once full strength and then stamp it again like half strength. So just keep stamping until you've got enough of your greenery there. And then I'm going to pop in, I know, Dana, it's always a welcome surprise when you see the shading on those distinctive stamps, because it's like, oh, I forgot that was going to happen. Or I didn't even know that was going to happen. And when you stamp it, it just looks so pretty. Now I'm going to stamp my hello down here in the bottom. Now, you may be wondering where this came from. So this is a die from the Celebration Labels dies. This is indispensable set of dies. You need it, okay? Because it's got all these wonderful layers. So this is obviously the layer that we're using, and it's big enough to fill up a whole card. So this makes even bigger layers that you can fold over into treat bags and things. So you want to pick up the celebration dies. Okay, now we're going to stamp our birdhouse, which I stuck back in here. And I believe it might still be Flirty Flamingo. Now, I'm going to stamp the birdhouse just right down from this branch. Okay. And the birds are going to be there brown. Now, I'm going to wash off that stamp set. And then in your packet, you're going to have a little scratch of white. Don't be alarmed. You need that because you're going to use your birdhouse to stamp again. So the reason I did this is I wanted the birds and the string to be brown, but the house to be a different color. So then what I'm going to do is, this is called like isolating or color blocking or something like that. But then you're just going to snip this out with your paper snips, and it's super easy to cut because of its angles. And you're just going to pop that right onto your project. Now, you're probably going to guess that I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And I tried and it just looked weird. So you want to use a glue dot, believe it or not. So we're going to put our little house on with a glue dot. Like so. And then we're just going to build our card. So your card will come with all the pieces, and your kit will come with all the pieces and parts to build your cards. But you can see you could make multiples of these really fast. So I always need cards that just say, hey, thinking of you, hello. This is that perfect card for that reason. And because it's all seasons, then you're not going to get stuck with, oh, I can't use this right now. Or you can make some fall ones now. You can make some summer ones later. You can make some winter ones. And you can just make what you need when you need it. Or you can make them all this kind of neutral color scheme and send them anytime. So I'm going to stick this down with my Seal Plus. Now I love our Stampin' Seal Plus. It is my BFF. I like Stampin' Seal too, but I'm more in love with Stampin' Seal Plus. It rolls out like butter, and it comes off like it breaks off. It breaks its seal from itself like butter. So if you haven't tried it, you need to put that on your order and give it a shot because it's new and it's awesome. Okay, so then we're just going to stick that right there. And voila, I actually cased this card from Leanne, who designed the stamp set. That's fantastic. So card number 2, you'll have 2 sets of that card to make your cards. Okay, so let's put the birdhouse away and get our area picked up here so we can go on to the next card. So now we have a Slimline card. And I will show you, if I can put my hands on it, a Slimline card that I made this weekend. So I had a card class with my friend Becky Ligon, and we made this cute Slimline card using a Christmas set. It's adorable, and it has a little Rudolph. But I got this just to show you that your Slimline card will fit very comfortably in a standard sized mailing envelope. Okay, so don't get stressed about how am I going to send this card. You just get a standard envelope and pop it in there. Don't stress. So Slimline cards are actually super easy. All right, now your dimensions on a Slimline card, you're going to need the PDF instructions. You will have this on your PDF, so you don't have to write this down, but they're 8.5 by 7, scored at 3.5 on the 7-inch side. Okay, so that's how you make a Slimline card, and I'll show you what I mean. So your card base, and we're always going to use the thick Whisper White. So we're 7 by 8.5. Okay, scored at 3.5. Okay, and then it folds over just perfectly. All right, so that's your Slimline card base. Just standard card base, nothing complicated. And then we're going to start building our card. Now, I used a different set of paper from the what is it called? In Good Taste designer paper. Again, this is just the designer paper that is perfection. I love this one. I'm going to use the back side of what I used for this card just to kind of see what I like better. We'll have to make a decision and decide which one we like better. So let's go ahead and stick that down to get it out of our way. Just line it up with your card. Now, just a tip, when I'm cutting the designer paper to go on the top of a card, I usually get it just a hair larger so there's not any white sticking out there. So I'll take care of that for you. But that's just a tip when you're making cards, if you cover the whole front. Now, I thought this was brilliant. Like, oh, I don't know what size to do these. Well, just reach for your So Sentimental dies. And this is the other best set of dies in the catalog. This is from the annual catalog. It's called, the stamp set is called So Sentimental. I keep my dies in my stamp sets. But this is indispensable. It's so indispensable that it's just in here like cuckoo land because I use so many of them. So we've got all these cool rectangles and then these cool dies, this cool dies. So the ones I used for this card are your second to largest rectangle and this die, okay? So go ahead and add the Stitched So Sweetly dies to your order too. That's $32. And so you're going to use these 4 panels to build your trees, okay? And the good news is I don't need my big block for this one because I just have to get part of the tree on there. Okie dokie. So let's get started. And we are going to make our tree go across all seasons. Now, my son, who is just hilarious, I showed him this card. I was so proud of it. And he was like, Mom, that doesn't make any sense because this, hey, Kathleen, good to see you. The snow would not be sitting in the tree. The tree would be bare in winter, which is absolutely true. So I'm going to do this one a little bit differently for Ben. And when he goes to college in January, I'm going to send that to him as a funny joke. Okay, so good to see you, Kathleen. I'm so glad you joined us. All right, so, and Kathleen, don't worry. You can go back and watch the part that you missed on the replay. So I can't remember if you registered for the class, but if you didn't, then just message me your email. Everybody, message me your email so you'll get the replay for the class in your email. All right, I'm just going to stamp this about midway down, and it's only going to have, it's not going to like have the whole tree on here, obviously. You're going to leave quite a bit of room here. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all 4 trees first. So I didn't stamp them all exactly the same way. I stamped this one a little bit to the left. Okay. Just for variation. I mean, you could stamp them all the same, but I think this makes it more visually interesting. And then your final tree. I wish, you've got to buy this stamp set just to see the details on this. It's just so cool. Well, you can see it really well right there. So there you go. This one's going to be over to the right. Okay, so you've got all your little trees ready to go. Now let's build them. Let's start over on the left with our fall tree, because it's fall right now, and that's where we're going to start. Can you believe it's fall? I feel like it should be summer. All right, so we're going to come in here with Cajun Craze. This is the quintessential fall color, so you're going to need that if you don't have it. And we're just going to put, now I kind of went back and forth. You can either make your leaves hang this way or go that way, but I think it obviously goes this way. And actually, I looked in the catalog, and this is the way that she had done it. So I just kind of, like I said, eyeball it. Don't freak out. Just eyeball it. And then don't re-ink it. Just bring it in again to get those other layers of card. And you're done. Okay, so your Cajun, hey Terry. Your Cajun Craze, are you doing good without your boot? Terry recently got released from her boot of displeasure. No one likes to wear a boot. All right. The next card, we're going to use our snow. Now, this is the one where we're going to humor Ben, and we're going to leave the tree bare, and we're just going to have snow. Hey, Terry. We've got two Terrys. Terry DeFont, it's great to see you. We're going to put our snow falling in the sky, okay? It's just falling, falling. That's it. Our tree is bare, but we're going to have just a little bit of snow cascading down, but gathering up there at the bottom. So I actually agree with his summary of that. What do you think? Do you think the winter tree should be bare, or do you think it should have snow like its branches? We'll take a vote. Everyone has to. Oh, good. Walking with a boot. Okay, so you got out of your no weight bearing. Hi, Faye Scott. It's great to see you. So you guys chime in and let me know if you like the snow in the tree or the snow under the tree and in the air with a bare tree. I want to know what you think. This is a poll. The next tree, we're going to use our polka dots. And we're going back to Flirty Flamingo polka dots. So we're going to wash that off good. And sometimes when I think things are washed, they're not. So you can always try it on your scratch paper. And I actually did a good job. So we're going to pull in some polka dots here. And remember, you don't have to re-ink it. Just kind of keep putting them down until you're happy. I'm happy. And then you're actually going back to your leaves, but you're not going to use Cajun Craze, you're going to use green. And so even though you don't have 4 stamps, you can cover all 4 seasons, because this time our leaves are going to be brilliant green like summertime. So Dana says under, Chris says both, Terry says both. Sherry says she grew up in New York. There's plenty of snow on tree branches. Okay, in the tree. So, okay, good. Well, under says mom, both ways. Okay, so we don't have a clear winner. So you do you. You do what you think is awesome. And I want to see pictures. So when you make your cards, I want you to post them on my page and say, looky what I made. So we're just going to go in a few times with our green leaves, and voila, we're finished with that card. Isn't that easy? It seems hard, but it's actually quite simple. And then the last thing we're going to do is stamp our thinking of you on our little die. And I'm going to use, so you guys, we've used almost every stamp in the set. If you were to have a card that was where you showed the whole tree, then this is the one stamp we didn't use, which is like ground. So all of our trees go off the edge of the page. So that is why we didn't use that one. And we're going to use our sentiment with our early espresso. And so we really have made lots of cards with just these 5 ink pads, which is exciting. So, and you've got something like this at home. If not, I'll set you up with a set of what you need. Okay, so thinking of you is fantastic. Now all we're going to do is build up our card. Once we find our card base, which we tossed aside. All right, now what I do is just go in and eyeball the card first. So don't start sticking until you are happy. So get your panels, so to speak, where you like them. And that seems good to me. And of course, we're going to put these up with dimensionals because they're so gorgeous. So now I'm just going to go down one row at a time and pop these up with dimensionals. Isn't this fantastic? I love this card because, again, all seasons, all reasons, you got to have this stamp set in your collection. So you want to add it to your order. You can get the stamp set and another thing and get to the $35 level. You can throw in some of these dies and get to the $50 level. If you're getting close to $75, which happens a lot, then we need to talk about you being a happy shopper, because you can get a starter kit, which is oh my goodness, we don't need that many dimensionals, which is $125 in goodies for only $99. So that's really the best deal in the catalog. And most of the people on this video, most of my customers are happy shoppers, because that's the way they get the best deal. I have about 75 happy shoppers on my team, so we're very happy shoppers. All right, so you have stuck your goodies down with dimensionals, and that is great. Now, the inside of your card is white, so you don't have to put a white innard in there. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this braided linen twine. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our twine and we're going to stick it to the back of our panel here. Now, this is a trick that I hardly ever see anyone else do, but I think it's a sneaky trick. So we're just going to use tear and tape, not unstuck, but we're just going to use it to adhere our ribbon to the back of this. No one will ever know the difference, okay? But what we're going to do then is take our scissor. We're going to cut this just a little bit, and we're going to unravel it. So it's totally, I just thought that the fibery nature of it just really went with our naturey card. And so we're going to purposefully unravel it and let it be awesome, okay? So it just kind of gives it some texture and some visual interest, which we know is important in card making. Okay, isn't that cool? And we're just going to pop some dimensionals on here and pop that up to our card. Voila. Okay. So when you put an order in of $35 or more, you will receive the make and take packets to make 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. And they'll come into the mail to you free shipping, okay? If you do, oh, I forgot the sequins. That's the best part. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I've remembered that. Okay, I always forget the sequins when I'm doing a video. I never forget them when I'm designing cards on my own. So we are going to use, this is so cool, the Artistry Blooms Sequins. There's like a yellow, there's a like an orange, there's a pink, and there is a blue. So that actually worked really well with our card. So I'm just going to simply come in here and do a couple of, well, actually we're going to do 3 of the pool party sequins. Okay, oops. If it ever happens that you leave your adhesive on your sheet, you just stick it back and bring it forward. All right, now we're going to stick this pink layer of sequins on this card. We're going to use these kind of Cajun-y, they're sort of orangish, but they're perfect for our Cajun craze tree. So you want to pick up some Artistry Blooms sequins. Now this one, you would be fine to put these down. They will kind of become green when you stick them down because they have like a green sheen to them. But I wanted them to be a little bit greener. So let's just cross our fingers because I need to find my blending markers. So I recently moved everything out of my craft room downstairs, and everything is not where it should be. So I'm trying to think of where I put that sucker. Let me think. Well, anywho, you can basically use any blending marker to color your sequins. And I'll tell you what I used. Oh, here they are, here they are. I knew I could find them. y'all are gonna have a heart attack when you see how I store my blending markers. I literally store them in a bucket, okay? It's just, that's my nature. I know my mom is not at all surprised that I stored them in a shoebox. I'll tell you, I used the Just Jade blending marker, and I just went in and colored 3 of these with Just Jade. I tried Old Olive, I tried everything, and the dark Just Jade is really what worked, and I would have never guessed it. I even tried Shaded Spruce. So, isn't that crazy? So Just Jade blending marker on your yellowish Artistry Blooms sequin, and you can pop that sucker down to your card. So you can basically make sequins any color you want when you've got blending markers. So that's fantastic. Okay, now it's perfectly perfect. All right. So Artistry Blooms Sequins, you want to pick those up. And the great thing is they already have adhesive backs to them, so they're ready to go. So let's review. We've got our Life is Beautiful stamp set, which we used on all of the projects for the class tonight. It's gorgeous. It's only $17. We used our Celebrations labels dies here. The Stitched So Sweetly was here and here, those dies. The In Good Taste paper was here and here. That's that designer paper that has all the wonderful shades. Holiday Rhinestones were on our Life is Beautiful card. The Artistry Blooms Sequins we just saw. The braided trim here. Whisper White thick cardstock is used on 2 of these cards. And then you've got Granny Apple Green cardstock and Flirty Flamingo cardstock here. And then you've got all your inks. Okay, so you've got Flirty Espresso, Seaside Cajun, Granny Apple. Okay, so pick those up. And remember, orders of $35 or more will get the free card class mailed to you. Your deadline for that is October 30th on Friday, okay? So that's when you need to get your order in by. And your orders of $50 or more, you'll receive some free sequins in the mail from me. So they won't come in your order, they'll come from me in the mail. And I will write in the post here what the host code is for this class. I don't have it right off the top of my head, sorry. And do we have any questions? Let me go and see if anyone here has any questions about our fun class. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And don't forget that that you can also, I will, in your email that you receive from me, you'll have a registration link to register for the Freezin Fun Stamp-A-Stack. So if you just joined us, I'm going to show you those again. They're so cute. Okay, so you'll make 10 Christmas cards. I didn't mention that you're going to get the designer paper and the ribbon and the embellishments. Okay, so $30, and that ships to you. If you don't have the Freezin Fun Stamp set, you can add that. And I would recommend that you add the bundle, because otherwise you're going to have to fussy cut those little animals out, and you don't want to do that. You want to spend your time coloring, not fussy cutting. So grab the bundle so you'll have the dies to cut out your cute little friends. Okay, if there's no questions, then I will... Oh, wait, I didn't see these comments. Love the cards. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. You should have seen Under Her Bed, Mom, is so true. That is absolutely true. Thank you, Jackie. I didn't know you were here. Thank you, Sherry and Chris. I love it. I love it. So thanks for joining me tonight, friends. I hope you share this with your friends on Facebook. I will draw for a winner for a prize in the mail. And I'll post that on the page here later. So stay tuned to that. And like I said, if you didn't register for the class on Constant Contact, then you need to send me your email on Facebook Messenger so you can get the PDF instructions mailed to you with all the measurements for these cards. All right, good night, friends. Bye.